Padres are about 20 games behind the Giants right now. So that's significant. There's like a few reasons for this. Like they just have some of their guys just aren't having the types of seasons that like they're used to having. Like Yu Darvish is one. Like right now, Yu Darvish has a ERA above 4.
Hmm.
Um, his 162 career game average is a 3.55 ERA. So that's not like him to do that.
And even then, I feel like
And
that's underselling how good he is.
right, because he's had some kind of weird years where he
Yeah.
hasn't been up to his par. Blake Snell is another one. Right now, he currently has a 4.20 ERA. His usual average ERA is 3.42. Um, and then Chris Paddock, their number again. So Darvish was probably projected to be their number 1 starter.
Right.
Snell probably projected to be number 2. Chris Paddock probably projected to be their number 5 starter. Right now, he has a 5.07 ERA. And
Damn.
his average ERA over 162 career is 4.21. So, like, it's not great, but for a 5 starter, you'll take 4.2 over 5.07 any day,
Yeah.
obviously.
And I'll say really
Dinelson,
quick about Snell too. The numbers you just read are after he had a hot streak. Like he started off this season awful.
right. So, yeah, what has he had? Like 3 or 4 starts in a row now where he's been, like,
He's been
solid.
killing
Like,
it. Yeah, like
yeah.
recently. But are like as a
Um,
whole, like a
yeah.
bad season.
Yeah. I mean, so that's like 3 of their 5 starters. And then you don't even talk about Dinelson Lamet, who
Right,
right
right.
now has a 4.10 ERA, plus he's barely pitched this year because he's been hurt a
Hmm.
lot. So he was probably projected to be their number 4 starter. So 4 out of your 5 starters are either hurt. Also, currently Snell and Paddock are hurt right now, and they may miss the rest of the season. So that's not the
Damn.
news that they needed to hear. This, I mean, it's just whether it's due to injury, whether it's just due to underperformance. 4 of their projected to be 5 starters have had down seasons. Joe Musgrove was probably going to be their number 3 starter, and he's actually had a solid season
Yeah, he's been
compared to
very
everybody
good.
else. But so that's their starting rotation. It's obviously been the most glaring issue on the team, but like it's not the only one. I mean, Emilio Pagan was probably projected to be their setup man. He had a solid season last year. He had a great few years in Tampa. And so far this season, he has a 4.50 ERA.
Hmm.
His average ERA is 3.24 over the seasons before this. So, like, that's kind of strange, too. You can't have a setup man that has an ERA of 4.50. That does not really work out too well.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, the rest of their bullpen has been pretty solid. Mark Melanson currently leads the league in saves, but because of Pagan's struggles, you wonder if he leads the league in saves because he's had a lot of 2 inning saves or 5 out
Yeah,
saves
true.
or something because of that. I mean, if you look at their position players, though, too, other than Tatis and Machado, most guys have not had their best seasons. Not even close, honestly.
I wouldn't even say
Like,
Machado's having his best season either. But
no, he's not.
your point's still taken.
Right. And, like, I mean, Austin Nola right now has 1 home run.
Hmm.
Before this season, his 162 average is 16 homers. So, I mean, he's their starting catcher, pretty much. He can
Yeah.
play other positions, but that's just kind of strange. Eric Hosmer, you never know really what you can expect from him. You know he's a great clubhouse guy, and that's the biggest reason why they have him. Plus, postseason, he's clutch, whatever. But if you don't make it there, that doesn't matter. And, like, right now,
Hmm.
Hosmer is hitting 266. He's got 11 homers, 62 RBIs, and a 723 OPS. So if you think about Eric Hosmer, that probably sounds about average to his numbers. I
Yeah.
mean, his career numbers is average over 162 is 277, 20 homers, 87 RBIs, 767 OPS. So I guess you wish some more power was there because obviously then the RBIs would go up. But other than that, he's really similar to what he usually is. But still, like, that's not great. And it's not like for him to kind of have a little bit of a down year when everybody else is doing the same thing kind of promotes like that it's more of an issue than it could be.
Hmm.
Other guy like Adam Frazier, who they just traded for, he was a beast in Pittsburgh, and ever since he got to San Diego, he hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't been great either. I believe he's only hit about 260 something since he got
Yeah.
there, which isn't that bad, but like I mean, even this season though, like he's only hit 4 homers and he only has 40 RBIs. His 162 game average before this year was 10 homers and 53 RBIs. So the power's kind of gone disappeared really. He's getting on
Hmm.
base more, but still, I mean, you would like him to hit some more homers, really get into some more doubles, even get his slugging up. And then the entire outfield has kind of been a mess, dude. I mean, it's kind of strange that you think about these names that I'm about to say, and they're all having pretty much their worst seasons of their career. Tommy Pham has a 730 OPS right now. His average OPS before this season was an 813 OPS.
Hmm.
So it's almost 100 points lower. Trent Grisham, I mean, he's not that far off from what his average numbers would be. But when the other guys are struggling, it's like if you're struggling too, then it all kind of comes to a head.
I like Grisham,
And
man.
then
I feel like
I
his
do
he
too.
started out the season so well, and it just does not carry over.
Right. And I mean, I feel like he's maybe gotten injured a little bit too. Some of these guys may have gotten injured along the way, which could be why. I believe that was the case with Nola for somewhat of the season. But
Okay.
I mean, a guy like Will Myers, too, man, is a guy that's always confused me because he had so much hype coming up. He was the rookie of the year in Tampa Bay. And
Yeah.
he's had he's had an okay season, but I feel like he never hit that all-star peak level
No.
that you thought he was going to hit because
He's been a weird
you know
player. Yeah.
right now he's hitting 257, 17 homers, 62 RBIs and a 782 OPS. That's okay for a platoon kind of guy, maybe something like that, but he's their everyday right fielder pretty much. So that's not really what you want. I mean, there were times, man, where guys projected him to be like a Mike Trout or like a guy like that, and he never really hit it. And it's not that he's a bad player because of that, but he just never got to that point where we thought he would. Um, and another guy like that is Jurickson Profar too, who's also having a kind of a shitty season.
Hmm.
He never really hit his peak either, but he had a solid year last year with San Diego in the shortened season.
Yeah.
But this year, man, he's only hitting 237. He's got 4 homers, 32 RBIs, and a 675 OPS. I mean, that's just way low for his usual 162 average. He usually hits 238, which is about the same as now. But 15 homers, 61 RBIs, and a 709 OPS is the usual. So everything else is way low. Obviously, that kind of can depend on playing time too, because like I said, he's a platoon kind of guy. He's kind of a utility guy, but he gets a solid amount of at bats. So that's not the only issue. I mean, if you look at the Padres, man, so the guys I just said, 6 out of the Padres' 8 projected starting position players and 4 out of their 5 starting pitchers are having down seasons, whether it's from projections or their own standards that they've made in the past. So if you have that many guys having quote unquote down seasons, you're not going to be the top dog in the NL West. That's just plain and
Yeah.
simple what it is.